stream where I'm going to try to center myself on the screen to then discuss how to use teaching to improve your research productivity. Okay, this is super important because teaching takes time, and sometimes it takes a lot of time, especially at the beginning of your career. And at the beginning of your career, it's where normally you have more demanding research targets because of tenure or promotion or whatever. But you still want to do a good job in teaching. Obviously, it does matter, um, and many of us, including myself, we did join academia because we do love teaching, right? Um, so so the point is not to minimize your effort in teaching, because that's not what will keep you employed. That's not what will keep you happy. That's not what this job is about. But it is making the most out of the time that you spend teaching. Okay, and the reason I want to discuss this topic with you today is obviously it's very important, but also because I came up with this very unique strategy, I think, of my own, um, that worked really well, and that has helped me have a lot of time for research, but still, really enjoy my teaching. Okay, so check it out. I did a slide. I'm getting professional in these streams. Okay, so let's start with the point in the middle. Teach the same thing as many times as you can. Okay, if there is one thing, like the key thing that you need to fight for when you get a teaching job, especially at the beginning of your career, but not only, but especially at the beginning of your career, or if you, like myself, decide that it's better to start your career in a teaching university with a higher teaching load, and then, so that you can have time to develop your research skills without the pressure. It's super, super important to teach the same thing as many times as you can. I would rather teach 200 hours of the same course than 90 hours of three different courses, because you prep once, you do your slides once, and then you just use it in the course. This is massive, massive. At TSEG, we try to do this with our junior faculty because we know this is massive. So we do try to do this, but other schools, may not, or not because they don't know. Well, sometimes because they don't think about it. Other times because they can't. But this is like, if you lose 5K in salary for this, it's worth it. And, it's definitely worth it. Okay, teach the same thing. Teach the same thing. In some universities, and at TSEC we do this a little bit, not hugely, but a little bit, is you when you first start teaching, you get these sort of like core courses where everything is prepared for you. Do it if you can. Okay, what you want to do is you want to minimize teaching prep. Okay, so if you're picking up a course that somebody has developed, you're minimizing teaching prep and you're learning from other people, right? You're learning how to set up a good course. So again, you want to teach one thing, okay? One thing, as many times as you can. Okay, now, second thing, I've always heard a lot of faculty saying that they when they teach, they one of the good things about teaching is that you learn from students. I have never learned from students. I've been teaching since 1997. It has never happened. I mean, maybe it's because of my interest that I'm more interested in, in bold conceptual arguments rather than the minutiae of everyday life. I am interested in minutiae of everyday life. I'm an ethnographer after all, but but that is something that I need to be in the field to do. That's not something that I learn in a classroom. So so there are two ways to learn from students, I think. One is if you, and we'll get back to that in ball number 3, is if you use your courses to discuss your own research. It's great. A great way to improve your research and get insights is to hear yourself speaking about it. And classes can be a good place to do that, where you hear yourself. If you're teaching the same thing as many times as you can, you're hearing yourself discussing your research over and over and over. This is gold, right? Gold. But second thing that I've really used my teaching to improve my research is using assignments to collect data. Okay, we discussed this a little bit in the video on how to use master's thesis to write research papers. And the challenge here is a little bigger because the data collection that each student will do is much more narrow. So in that video, I give some advice about what sort of research questions and methods you can use. What I did is I basically had an interview guide that I shared with my students about a topic that everybody could answer, right? They could interview anybody. And basically I had my students interview 2 people each, but then I had 100 students a year. So that's 200 interviews a year, which is pretty good. Third, and here is this is my secret thing, my secret sauce, and this, I have to tell you, is where I find the biggest joy in teaching, the biggest fulfillment in teaching. It is about basically building your class, okay? And this is not about building a class that pleases students. It is building a class that it is your take, okay? So it's like, I remember, so let's see, Mintzberg on management. Okay, so like, this is like my dream, right? It's like Joao on management, right? I would really love to do this. To write, but obviously I'm not famous to do something like that. So the way I do this is in class, right? So basically, I can guarantee you that what students learn in my class, the points of view, are my own, and they won't hear about them in that package anywhere else, okay? So if you come to my class, you are coming to a class on Joao on information systems or Joao on management, okay? And so what I did was I built that gradually. So basically now I have a bunch of slide sets. So I'll show you. So see, these are all my slide sets. All of these are different. All of these are different slide sets of between 10 to 20 slides each, and each is about a specific topic and a specific take. And I basically try to do 1, 2 a year. So that's why I have 20 now. I've been teaching since 1997. And I did teach not a lot, but a bit during my PhD. So, but at the beginning, I only had one of this, one slide set of this, which was actually about my view of the structuration approach to information systems. Okay. So, and basically what I did is I copied, so I copied from the best, so either from classes that I took as a student, um, or for or I use a textbook, and a lot of American textbooks, just basically give you the slides, right? So let's say, so at the beginning, like I had, you know 10 sessions. One session was completely original material, and then the rest was from the book. Year number two sessions were completely original material that I developed, the rest was from the book, okay? So, I did have the enjoyment of bringing my voice and my ideas to my teaching, but one at a time, right? So now all of my courses are completely, developed by myself. Now I'm more on editing mode on slides, but I still do occasionally create a slide set. But now I basically I can teach every course from this set of slides that I have. And obviously I don't teach 20, I would teach 5 to 7, but that's what I do, and then I adapt them. So like now I'm teaching a course to would-be lawyers on management information systems, and that course has a little, has some adaptations in the slides for law students. Okay. Now there's something so cool now that did not exist at my time, and I want to show it to you because it's so amazing. It's the MIT OpenCourseWare. Okay. So I'll show you. The website for this is ocw.mit.edu, and this is like this is amazing. Okay, so basically for every course you have a little bit of a course description. Okay, then you have the syllabus, like with everything. Okay, you have the instructor insights. Okay, where like entire documents here explaining how to do this with references so that you can read, right? So a bunch of course insights on giving students feedback. I mean, you can learn immensely from this. Okay, you have the grade breakdown, instructor insights on assessments, how student time was spent. I mean, this is great, right? You have the readings per class. I mean, come on, man. Assignments, study materials per session. And here you can download everything. I mean, geez, I mean, you can learn so much from this, right? From this amazing, and there are courses on anything. I just pick one on leadership stories, but there are courses on everything. So you can just like, let me go back and show you. Well, anyway, you can come here to MIT OpenCourseWare, and you can go, where is it? Find courses by department, for example, and you come here to management, and here are your courses, okay? And you can filter by, if there are textbooks or notes and whatever, levels, undergraduate and graduate. I mean, all of this, right? So you pick one of these, like IT 1, which is what I teach, Information Technology 1, okay? Crystal Rocas, forget about it, okay? And you have the thing. You have everything, okay? So my advice is, just start from here, or from courses that you take, or, from a textbook, and just then gradually build, gradually build your syllabus, okay? Build your slide set so that we end up with, Peter, Marie, Christine, on management, on IS, on leadership. So these are the 3 tips to make sure that you're a great instructor, but that your teaching is really helping you achieve your research targets. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just going to switch to see if there are any questions. No questions. So thanks so much. If you like this video, if you're watching this video on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. And a final note to say thank you to the people that have, reached by email or Twitter to say that they watch the content. I really appreciate that. It makes me feel really cool and warm and fuzzy inside. So have a great time. And if that is the case, good luck for your classes. Bye bye, everybody.